Why would you ever need a clean analog EQ? This is the H-Labs EQ 169, damn she's fine. 169, damn she's fine, one more time.
I hope she can EQ it to me one more time.
Plus, the EQ 169 Plus. And it is apparently a very clean analog hardware EQ. And I thought clean EQing was something that was done in the box, and all the stuff that's in nice hardware pieces of gear has a lot of flavor and color. So today I want to figure out with you in what use case you would use a clean analog EQ. Okay, I plugged and patched in the 169
Damn she's fine
on the master bus over here so we can run the mix bus through this unit. But I also want to see what a clean EQ in the digital domain can do, so I've pulled up the Pro Q3 over here as well. Okay, I'm going to start with dialing in the hardware EQ first, and then later we'll see what the Pro Q3 can make of it. If we need to figure out anything about what it does, we've got the manual over here. But first, let's just see what our ears can tell us about what this thing can do. I think I like what that's doing. The knobs are really nice. They've got big steps, so it's easy to get recall. Build quality is nice. You've got plenty of EQ points, 10 or 11 on each of these presence mid-range bands, and then you've got a high shelf and a low shelf. Low shelf says 20 Hertz and 60 Hertz, but I feel, yeah, that is like similar with a Pultec EQP1A. It says 100 Hertz, but it starts way higher. Yeah, you can see that it actually starts doing something at 1K and above actually already. So it's a very gentle curve over there. And the 60 Hertz actually starts, what's that, around 3 or 4 kilohertz, and then it slowly, just gently goes down. So you're not really doing a very small band, low sub push. You're actually doing lows and a little bit of low mids as well. By the way, if you want to pick up something like the H-Labs 169,
damn she's fine,
yes Nathan, you can do that and get a 5% discount at KMR Audio. Don't worry, the code works on every single item in their shop, so enjoy. On 20 kilohertz, I definitely heard some high mids pop up as well. Yeah, that goes up from 700-ish, maybe even lower, 500 I think. On 35, that's probably why it's on 35, because you could think we don't hear 35, so why 35? That is just so this starts going up a little bit higher up, so you really just do a top end air accentuation. Another very welcome thing on this EQ, now I've purposely put it above the Miad LCPQ 4040 because the first time I saw this unit I was like, hey, that looks very familiar. Now this is a bit of a darker color, the H-Labs is a little bit lighter, but they do basically have the same yellow knob there. What they also both have is the fact that you can switch the EQ gain range. So you can set this, you have to actually open it up and switch jumpers internally on the Miad. On the H-Lab, they actually figured we want to do that on the faceplate, so when you're operating it, you can actually switch between the modes. So you've got the original, which is... The original mode keeps the same gain as in the original Studer circuit. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but this is based off of a Studer 169
There she's fine.
EQ. That's why it's called the...
There she's fine.
That's why it's called the 169. The high shelves are actually 15. The master mode is actually 5 dB on the presence and 5 dB on the shelf. So all the gain ranges is 5 dB up and 5 dB down. And then we've got, in the middle, we've got hybrid, which makes the presence mid-range bands 12 dB and the high and low shelf 5 dB. And on the knobs you've got the same amount of steps. So actually the EQ becomes more precise because now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, so that is 3 dB per step. Now if I put it on the master, it actually goes to 1 dB. So I can actually go 1, 2, 3, and this would be the same as the previous setting I had over here. So that way when you're more in a tone shaping setting, in a mix or in a recording session where you want to have more control and shape the sound more, you can set it to original and have more gain. If you're more on the master side, you can dial in a finer gain with just a 5 dB up and down. Let's get this back to neutral. And let's see how different that is if we use the master setting over here. The track I'm using right now is the track It's Always Been You by Daphne Adriana, which I have mixed from start to finish in front of this very camera. So if you want to see 5 hours of me starting a mix and bringing it all the way to the end, to the revision process and to a finalized mix, check out the join button down below, because as a member of the virtual internship, you get access to all those 5 hours of mix breakdown. Okay, let's continue and dive back into the H-Lab EQ 169.
There she's fine.
Okay, so that's 5 dB now. I switch to original, we're gonna have 15. Yeah, that's a lot more. Interesting. Is it time maybe to see what the Pro Q3 can do with these settings? We're in master mode, so we've got 3 dB on 20 Hertz, which actually starts doing something from a lot higher. Shelf over here, 2 dB on 35. So that actually starts at 1K. Okay, I'm guessing something like this. 1 dB on 300 Hertz. Now it does say over here, it has a wide Q factor of 1. By default, if you make an EQ point in Pro Q3 it is a Q of 1. So that's what we want to do. We want to do. Thank you. And then we've got 1.8K. Interesting. That is 2 dB. That is about how it should look. Okay, let's see what the hardware EQ makes of it first. And then for the digital Pro Q3. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about the difference between these two EQs. Would you go for a hardware EQ in this case, or would you just be happy with a Pro Q3 any day of the week? Okay, next track. Hato with Risk It All. I mixed this track about a year ago. I did a video on doing the revision with Hato and Alvaro in the Next Movement studio. So we actually went through that entire process of showing them the first version of my mix and then bringing it home with the revision process. Again, in front of the camera. I film all of that stuff so you get to see it, and that one is actually public. So if you want to see that, I'll link it somewhere. I don't know where though. I think for this one I want to go for the hybrid. So now we've got 5 dB on the shelves and 12 dB on presence. Okay, I don't think that 3 dB of trim on the output is enough to actually gain match this, how much is it? 12 dB of boost on 6.2K. But this is a good way to over exaggerate what it's doing. Now, let's bring this into the Pro Q3 as well. I'm really curious how this is going to sound on the Pro Q3. Back to the Pro Q. One more time, H-Labs. Now I know that these are ridiculous settings that I may probably not use in this use case, but if you happen to run into something that you need to really push a lot more, I do feel that it stays a little bit more nice and forgiving and chill than with the Pro Q3. So maybe if you want all that high end in your vocal, you're trying to push out a lot of Pro Q3 versus an actual analog EQ, I do feel the analog can really help there. Now for the smaller stuff, 1, 2 or 3 dB boosts, I feel plugins are absolutely fine. But when it comes to this, like 12 dB on 6K, that's why I have too much analog gear to actually fit in this room, I think. Do we want to do more? Okay, I wanted to stop the video there, but I think I do want to put that to the test. I do want to exaggerate that high end on the vocal and actually see if the H-Labs 169
Damn, she's fine.
is actually more forgiving than the Pro Q3.
Why you started? Know you got it. Pave the way, like you about it. Put your hands on my body. Why you started? Why you started? Think I need space. You push me away. Now you wanna get it back. No, you wanna get it back. 'Cause we caught that vibe again. We caught eyes again. Stay the night again. Tell sweet lies again. She said, I wanna be your one and only. Your one and only. I wanna be yours, yours, yours. Baby, be so real. You keep changing status. Don't play with me, 'cause I know you wanna give it up.
I kind of want to push it even further than this. I don't care about a nice sounding vocal, just want to see how far we can take it.
Why you started? Know you got it. Pave the way, like you about it. Put your hands on my body. Why you started? Why you started?
Okay, so this is 15 dB on 35K. That's crazy. First, the H-Lab analog EQ, 12 dB on 35 kilohertz.
Why you started? Know you got it. Pave the way, like you about it. Put your hands on my body. Why you started? Why you started? Think I need space. You push me away.
We engage the Pro Q3 with the same settings.
Why you started? Know you got it. Pave the way, like you about it. Put your hands on my body. Why you started? Why you started? Think I need space. You push me away. Why you started? Know you got it. Pave the way, like you about it. Put your hands on my body. Why you started? Why you started?
Okay, let me know down below what you think. Do we still need analog gear, or are we fine with just Pro Q3s? If you want to pick up any piece of gear like the H-Labs EQ169,
Damn, she's fine.
you gotta be quicker than that. You can do that with the 5% discount code Thomas5 at KMR. And if you want to help me grow this channel so I can make more videos like these, click on the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tell me in the comments if you like the analog EQ more or if you're staying in the box. I'll see you on another video. Later!